Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat Nagpal, and today we're going to be reviewing the new Lenovo P2. So let's get started. So with all sorts of innovations in smartphones coming to a saturation, the only real thing that hasn't seen innovation in a very long time is the smartphone battery. With so many features being stuffed into smartphones, battery life has really been a problem for users in the past years. The only real solution that smartphone companies have found is to stuff giant batteries into smartphones. The Lenovo P2 is one such phone. It houses a 5100 mAh battery, a battery that is comparable to many power banks that are available in the market today. In fact, the phone does serve up as a power bank for other phones as well. But does this compromise on the other features that the smartphone has? Let's find out. We'll start off with design. Lenovo hasn't done much for design on the Lenovo P2. If you've used a Lenovo phone in the past 2 years, you'll find the design reminiscent with what Lenovo has done with the Vibe series. It's quite identical to the Vibe K6 that we unboxed and reviewed in the past. It sort of just takes on that angle and increases the thickness a little bit more to add on the 5100 mAh battery. The phone does, however, have a unibody aluminum shell, which does have double chamfered edges on the front as well as the back, along with some plastic inserts for the antennas, overall giving it a premium look. But it's a very taste preference sort of design, so if you like it, you like it. If you don't, then you absolutely do not. Apart from the oddly placed secondary noise cancellation microphone, the phone is pretty symmetrical. If you look at the bottom, you have the center placed micro USB port flanked on either side by grills, one of which is a microphone and the other one which is a down-firing speaker. The center placed main camera, which has the center placed dual LED flash which also sits under it, showing perfect symmetry in terms of design and shapes. Only the noise cancellation microphone seems a little off-center, could be at a slightly side position so that it would fall in symmetry with the 3.5mm headphone jack. Over at the left is an interesting toggle that helps you switch from a standard power mode to a gigantic long life power mode, and this will come in handy if you have longer trips to make, and if you just want to use your phone, you can just switch to this and get longer and long-lasting battery life. Now, if we talk about hardware, the phone runs on a Qualcomm Snapdragon 625, which is an octa-core 2GHz CPU, along with an Adreno 506 GPU. The phone is available in 3GB or 4GB RAM options, in 32GB or 64GB of storage, and you do get, like I've mentioned before, a 5100 mAh battery life. On the back is a 13MP f2 camera with a wide 21mm lens, and on the front is a 5MP f2.2 camera, both of which are capable of 1080p video. The rear camera also shoots 4K video at 30 frames per second. The most interesting aspect of the phone, according to me, is the 5.5-inch display over at the front. Even though it's a 1920 by 1080p display, it is a Super AMOLED display. Not just a simple AMOLED, but a Super AMOLED display. Most of the technology lies with Samsung, so it goes to show that most probably the display has been made by Samsung, and it has great viewing angles and also good color depth. We'll get into all those details in just a bit. Let's talk about the operating system. Here's a little bit of disappointment. It's 2017. The phone does run Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow out of the box, which is a big letdown because now it's time to seriously upgrade to Android 7, but the company says that'll happen end of March or beginning of April for all their Lenovo phones. We also heard in the past that Lenovo is phasing out the Lenovo phone series and basically replacing it with Moto phones. The buyers will not be happy, but it seems that Lenovo is still launching phones in India and China, so that may still continue for these markets. The UI is pretty basic and not a lot of bloatware is added on to the device. You can remove some of the preloaded applications, which is impressive. It frees up your storage space, even though the phone is available with up to a 64GB storage option. You can also pop in a micro SD card up to 256GB, but since it is a hybrid SIM tray, it'll use your SIM 2 slot. So if you want to use both SIM cards, you'll either have to hack your micro SD card in there, or ideally you'll have to just use one SIM card and one micro SD card. The user interface is fast and responsive. In fact, it's more impressive than I really expected from the device. It stays snappy, and we've used the device for a couple of weeks and we found that the interface does not slow down. RAM management on this device seems to be really proper, and it seems that the minute you do quit applications, RAM does free up really quickly, and when you put them in multitasking as well, RAM management done by the operating system loaded by Lenovo is pretty good. On benchmarks, you get mediocre results, so around 62,000 on Antutu, which is not the most impressive from a phone of this value. There are, however, some interesting UI features. You do get the ability to add dual apps, so you can have dual profiles for dual apps. So since you have two SIM cards in there, you can use two instances of WhatsApp, two instances of things that do not allow multiple logins like Snapchat, and have those running in the background. The phone has been manufactured in India, so it is one of the Make in India phones. If you talk about the display, the Super AMOLED display is really impressive. You get really good viewing angles along with good levels of color. You also get really deep blacks. You do get the inherent oversaturated colors which you do get with Super AMOLED display. Colors look larger than life. Photographs look better than they would on your LCD display on your laptop or your television. This is the same case with Samsung devices. It's the same case with the Lenovo P2. Now let's come on to battery life. This is one of the phones that truly stands to the name of battery life. You do get an interesting fast charger inside the box, which does push out up to 12 volts. The phone does support interesting fast charge, which in comparison to things like the OnePlus 3 with its dash charge can actually be faster than the dash charge capability. Even though you'll get less percentages in the same time, but due to the large size of the battery, you'll find that the phone is actually charging much faster than OnePlus 3 devices as far as battery life is concerned. The charger can fully charge up the phone's 5100 milliamps of battery in about 1 hour and 20 minutes plus. And that means that you get a large 3-day battery life with quick 1.5 hour charge. One of the most interesting aspects of the device is that Lenovo wants you to use this as a power bank, and they include a small OTG adapter inside the box, allowing you to charge other devices with this smartphone. The battery life in itself is pretty impressive, and the way the phone manages battery is also pretty impressive. You do get a 2-day plus battery without any problems, even though the company claims 3-day of battery life. We found it to work easily for 48 hours without requiring a charge, which is in itself pretty impressive. If you switch to the ultimate power saver mode with a full battery, you can literally go on for weeks, but it does dumb down the smartphone features to just basic feature phone features. So you can make calls, send SMSs, etc. But you do get a really long battery life. The Lenovo P2 has a 13 megapixel rear camera, which does have an f2 aperture. So you get decent low light performance. The dual tone LED flash is pretty bright. It does manage to fill light into most of your situations. So you'll get really nice pictures if you have well lit conditions, and you'll get decent pictures if you have low light conditions. The camera is also fast and snappy, so you won't get blurry shots and you'll get really crisp shots with the device. There are certain features that are inbuilt into the phone which help you take pictures better. You also have the ability to shoot 4K Ultra HD video. You also get a full Pro mode that allows you to tweak your settings when you customize and click a picture, so you can set your white balance, your shutter speed, your ISO, all of those things. The front camera is more or less average. I didn't find the picture quality to be nice. In fact, some of the front facing shots are grainy and low light images do not turn out to be the best. You do have a beautify mode, and if you have really well lit conditions, if you're taking pictures outdoors, the pictures are crisp. Close-ups with the rear camera can give you really nice depth of field. Overall, the image experience is good, especially from the main camera, and so is the video experience. And if you have shaky hands, you also get electronic image stabilization. Interestingly, Lenovo dropped the price of the Lenovo Z2 to now 14,999, which means that you get a better chipset with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 820, churning out more performance and better multitasking capability for a lesser price than the Lenovo P2. So in case you're not looking for battery life and extended battery life, personally, we feel that the Lenovo Z2 makes for a great price for value option. For those looking for an extra long battery life, a Super AMOLED display, and an overall great build quality and design, the Lenovo P2 is a fantastic option, and it does offer up some interesting features that Lenovo has added onto this device. So the final decision basically comes down to need versus want. That's it for our review, guys. If you have any questions or queries, you can drop it in the comment section below. You can also grab an iGyaan t-shirt while stocks last, and we'll leave a link to that in the description below as well. Check us out on iGyaan.in, catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Hit that like button if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to iGyaan for more such tech. This has been Bharat. I'll see you in the next one.